Hello, my name is Christine Augello, and I am a clinician here at Nexus Youth and Family Services. And this month, we're going to be talking about the importance of social connections. And that's how meaningful relationships support mental, emotional, and physical well being. So, what are social connections? These can be relationships with family, friends, colleagues, neighbors, your community. It can be a relationship that you have emotionally, practically, spiritually, or any kind of recreational connection. And we can also have virtual connections, so in person as well as virtual. And quality matters more than quantity. So, why social connections matter? As human beings, we are wired for connection. So, connections supports our self worth, our resilience, our identity. It acts as a protective buffer against stress. And then the mental health benefits of connection. So, it reduces risk of depression and anxiety, promotes belonging, self esteem, emotional expression, decreases PTSD symptoms and emotional dysregulation. Some of the physical health benefits of connection. So, when we're connecting, we're lowering that stress hormone, that cortisol. It's boosting our immunity, it's improving our overall heart health, pain tolerance, recovery, reducing chronic illness risk and premature death. Some scientific evidence on longevity. So, a Harvard study, relationships were the key to a long and happy life. And then also a meta analysis. A lack of connection is like a similar to health risk like smoking. And then connection impacts both mind and body health. So there are some barriers to social connection. For some, maybe more introverted people, it's hard to maybe want to connect or be in social situations. There's also maybe could be some self-esteem issues, anxiety, any like traumatic experience where you feel like you kind of want to isolate. And that would definitely be a barrier to social connection. And then sometimes our schedules are so busy that we don't feel like we have time to connect. And addressing these barriers is crucial to our well being. So the role of technology can kind of help us and hinder us as far as connection goes. It does help us like maintain distant connections. So if you think about when you're scrolling social media and you're able to connect with maybe some of your family members or friends who don't live near you or who live in another state in another country, um, it could be a benefit, to be able to stay connected in that way. But then at the same time, that social media aspect could also be a challenge because it's sometimes the connection is more superficial. Maybe we're texting instead of calling or talking to someone in person. So technology can be both a positive impact for connection, but it can also be negative. Um, and then strategies for improving your social health. So, definitely, like we're talking about today, make connections, take care of yourself while caring for others, get active with other people, shape your family health habits, bond with your kids, build healthy relationships. So to find new social connections, there are so many different things we can do. Even like if you're struggling with a mental health issue or grief or addiction or anything, there are support groups that you can connect with. And there are people who just will make you feel they'll bring you in naturally and you'll just feel like you're a part of their family and it's a sense of community. So a lot of these different groups do provide a sense of community. If you know that there's something that you enjoy doing, or maybe it's something that you used to enjoy doing, maybe pick that back up again. So that could be like like knitting or hiking or, dancing. It could be kind of anything, just whatever piques your interest. And then also volunteering. So volunteering is just, it's to help others, to help others. It's just making you like warming your heart, making you feel good about yourself, improving your self-esteem. And that could be, helping out at an animal shelter. It could be helping out at school. One of the great volunteer agencies that we have within the Nexus program is we have something called CASA, which is a court appointed special advocate. And you can advocate for different children and youth going through the either the dependency or the delinquency system. And that just is something that it's going to help you, it's going to help others, and it's going to make a big impact in your community. So anytime you have a chance to volunteer, I will challenge you to do that, because you get so much more out of it than you think you will. So there are other examples, like that's helping others. Moving, you can find new social connections by moving. So if you've ever thought about, when you go on a walk or maybe a run and you interact with other people in your community, and sometimes you will make new friendships that way, and then you'll also have a partner that will keep you accountable to continue moving and to continue being active. So I encourage you to just find new ways to make those connections and stick with it. So to take care of yourself while caring for others, so a lot of us at some point in our life are going to be caregivers for someone. So it's important to get organized, ask for help. You can, try to take breaks each day. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're caring for a loved one, and basically it's all day, every day, being able to maybe find a friend um, who can maybe help you, or a caretaker who can maybe give you a break from that full-time care, and so that you can go out and improve your social connections with other people. And then also, an important thing is when you're in that situation, joining a support group. So we have a lot of amazing different groups here in Amador County. If you have, there's grief groups, I know there's like Alzheimer's groups, where if you just need to get out and connect with people who are sharing a similar experience, then that is just going to improve your support and social connections tenfold. So to get moving with others, that's building your network. Like I was talking about, joining those support groups, or just things that you enjoy, walking, hiking, dancing, biking, or a knitting group, or, anything like that. So, and then when you find the support, then you become accountable. So these people are going to keep you accountable. And before you know it, you're not going to need that, accountability. You're going to want to go. You're going to enjoy going. And then same with like the exercise. If you're having a little bit of motivation, I guess lack of motivation for maybe trying to work out, then finding a friend to hold you accountable, and just trying different programs that are going to work for you. And team sports. I am a huge fan of team sports. And that's actually one of the things I do miss. I used to play softball, and I miss, playing with the different softball teams. And part of me thinks, oh, I might go back and do that. But I have been able to find other activities that have kept me active and social. And so just whatever you think, even if you're not good at something, just try it, try it. And before you know it, you're going to have a ton of laughs, and you're going to, and practice, just keep practicing, and you're going to get better. So, all right. So to help kids, so for the families, being able to help kids form healthy habits. So our kids want to, they model, like as parents, we model different behaviors. So, and kids watch everything. Like, if you think they're not paying attention, they are paying attention. So, be a role model for your family. Eat healthy family meals together. Stay active with your family instead of maybe watching TV or surfing the web. Show them different ways to connect and be healthy. And then just making small changes. So, like if you drink whole milk, maybe switch to 2% milk for a while. And then from there, you can maybe go down to 1%, and then, maybe non fat milk. So, they're just different things that you can start, and as a progression, then you can, keep going further and further. And before you know it, you've made all these healthy changes, and you really didn't have to do much to do that. To build strong relationships with your kids, praise your kids. Like, so if they're doing something good, let them know, like, great job, gently putting your toys away, or thank you for staying seated, and just things like that. So let them know that they're doing really well, because kids hear often, way too many times, no, and don't do that, so when you're actually when you're recognizing their good behavior and you let them know, then they're gonna want to start letting you know that I hear what you're saying and I appreciate it. So keep doing that. Keep building those strong relationships with your kids. Set limits on like mobile devices and things like that if they're distracted. And then just talk to your kids. Ask them about what's going on in their life. What are their goals? Do they, have any? Is there any worries or anything? And just include them in your activities when you can. So, to build healthy relationships, recognize how other people influence you. Share your feelings honestly. Expect others to treat you with respect and honesty in return. And then also compromise. So, if you pick the last several activities, maybe let your friend pick the next activity. And so that, you can kind of meet each other in the middle. The most important things in life are the connections you make with others. So, upon reflection, who do you feel closest to? And then when do you feel the most connected? So, if that answer is like, I'm not sure, or it's been a really long time since I've seen the person that I feel most connected with, then maybe it's time to reach back out and connect with that person. And then identify what relationships need attention. So that's going back and thinking about, who have I not talked to in a while, who maybe would like to hear my voice, or who maybe needs that connection right now. And then reach out, try something new. So prioritize connection weekly. So some of the final thoughts here. Social connection is essential, not optional. We all need social connection as human beings. And then quality over quantity. So just make sure that when you are connecting, that you are in the moment with that person and making an effort to just really connect with them, showing them that they're important and that they mean a lot to you. And it's never too late to connect. So if you haven't connected with someone in a couple years and you think, oh, it's just too late, they wouldn't want to hear from me, or you wouldn't believe how many people just are just amazed and so happy to connect even after long periods of time. So, and it really lets them know that they're important to you and that they have meaning in your life. So some of the additional resources for connection, we've got the Social Wellness Toolkit, Lock It, Be Real, Marco Polo. And just in closing, connection is why we're here. It gives purpose and meaning to our lives. So if you could, please fill out our surveys. And then also, thank you for listening to the presentation. I hope you learned something today, and I hope you reach out and connect with someone. Thank you.